seleção.
Sergio Romero, now 31 years of age, part of that Racing club before moving to Europe. Neymar from a good 35 yards out. Maybe if it was 50.
Yeah. And there were uprights. But a break there for Neymar. Neymar, I wonder if him playing out wide on the left is the best position for him.
Thomas Tuchel seems to disagree.
Yeah, even when he was at Barcelona, he was out wide on the left with Messi and let him do their thing.
Although both Tuchel and Tite have tried to give him a little more free rein to slot into the center as a creator.
Maybe putting him there from the start might be better. I mean, traditionally, the Brazilian number 10s, you put them in the middle. Obviously, they're brilliant, so they'll make the right choices in terms of their movement off the ball into space. But maybe Neymar just seems a little bit too pinned on the left side. You want him all over the pitch, not just on one half of it. And maybe by his starting position, it cuts down a little bit of his space and effectiveness. This pass here by Arthur was fabulous. Great touch on it. I think Arthur maybe even had the time to settle it down and then pick where he wanted to go with the ball, but that was something they worked on the training ground. So that was what Arthur wanted. It certainly has been cagey affair between these two. We've seen a ton of yellow cards, fouls, brilliant footwork from players from both sides. Now we're just waiting for that game-winning goal. And I think Lionel Scaloni knows that he has this is a job audition for him to become the permanent manager of the Albicelestes.
Next month, Mexico looms. Well, Brazil will be taking on Argentina. Mexico in action against Chile tonight, with the rumors that former Argentine boss Tata Martino might be the one taking over. The Atlanta United boss had been rumored to take over Argentina again, perhaps Colombia.
Yeah.
Many had thrown his name into the mix for the United States national team, but it looks like El Tri is going to get the man.
If I were him, I wouldn't leave Atlanta. I think he's got a great situation in Atlanta. He might, if he wins the MLS Cup, I can see why.
You just like the night scene, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Atlanta has great nightlife, yeah, for sure. But it's a great setup for him over there in Atlanta. And I can understand if he wins the MLS Cup going to a 3, but if he doesn't, I would stay.
Mendy again, but it eludes Paredes into the area. Richarlison dances around Tagliafico. Richarlison only about 5'10", 5'11", but plays much bigger than that.
I was going to say, he looks like 6'3", just from this
late bloomer, maybe.
Late bloomer, yeah, but you mentioned 5'10", 5'11", but as you said, plays bigger than that. Body positioning. He looks like a big stocky guy, so he can get himself in the right position, and then obviously he's shown the ability to finish. A player that also needs some good service as well. Maybe not as much as Icardi, but both of them are lethal finishers when they get their chances.
Free Salvio. Felipe Luis getting back in time. Of course, Salvio spending a bit of time with Atleti, but never quite able to connect. Reborn in Benfica. Neymar again just sucking in the defender to draw the foul.
But Neymar dribbling there, and then Coutinho and Arthur just standing watching him. Somebody has to make a move into the middle. I mentioned that Neymar dribbling too much. Yes, I think there are certain situations where he dribbled too much, but if Arthur makes a run into that space and behind that second defensive line, he could get it to Arthur, and then they could link up with Richarlison. So Coutinho and Arthur haven't been as active going forward as I'm sure Brazil fans would have liked.
Fico's day is done. Marcos Acuna checking in. More of a winger for Sporting than a wing back. Although we have seen that in some of his prior responsibilities with the Albiceleste.
Started at wing back, left back position against Iraq, so he's familiar with it. But as you said, more of a player that is better going forward as a winger than a wing back. Yeah. Only two substitutions so far for Brazil. And now Coutinho or Arthur would be out.
Neymar gets rid of it just in time before Otamendi pounces, and it does throw the pass off just enough. As you heard, almost 62,500 in attendance in this beautiful stadium. Ball forward, curling his run. Richarlison back to his right, but then tried to go to the well too often. Otamendi knocks it free. What a ball, Neymar, but Felipe Luis, just not enough fuel in the tanks.
Felipe Luis was open for about a minute and a half down that left side. Richarlison dribbling back to the right side and into the teeth of the defense. They could have gotten it to Felipe Luis a lot sooner. He was unmarked for a good, like I said, about a minute and a half. This is a great ball by Neymar. And you wonder if Felipe Luis saying, I'm open, and then thought the play was over. Maybe that's why he was late to react to the pass by Neymar. But they've got to get that head up and get it to him sooner. He was wide open.
Still two changes, including Franco Cervi, who scored the final goal against Iraq just a couple of days back. Maxi Mesa. So maybe still something left for Argentina with 7 minutes left. And as you said, for Chiche, 84th minute now, and he's only taken 2 players off.
They are loaded with talent on the bench. I don't understand it. You have Lucas Moura, who is a player with pace that can run at the defense, not afraid to go one-on-one. If you want someone to replace a Coutinho or Arthur, you have a Renato Augusto, who is someone that Chichi trusted a lot in World Cup qualifying, and they played very well.
And Wallace and Fred.
Yeah.
They called Lucas Moura back into the mix.
Yep. So it's definitely a head scratcher.
Samiro. Oh, so close. Looked like it might have taken the slightest of deflections. And it almost nestles into the corner. Spins off the backside. And almost in at the back post.
Oh, Romero was frozen. He was leaning to his right. That ball going to his left. Unfortunate for Brazil. Very fortunate for Argentina.
From the corner, cleared Otamendi. Top of the box, Miranda. Maybe had the best chance for Brazil, where he beat Romero, but not Otamendi. This time, the curling run, Fabinho, but he runs out of space. On the way, Fred started the match against Iraq. Wallace came on. Lucas Moura as well in the second half. But Malcolm, to this point, has not played in either match. They had also the backup right back to Danilo and Fabinho. Could conceivably put him in and move Fabinho to the midfield. So many options. And that will be one of the questions, I'm sure, for Tite, especially if someone comes up lame in these final 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you have to say, if you're being critical of the midfield, you have to say Coutinho and Arthur, in terms of their play, have come up lame. They have to be more involved in the attack. I guess they've done their job defensively. They haven't had to worry too much about any threat from Argentina down the middle. So
that could change here. Driven across Acuna. Felipe Luis just plays it safely out. It's going to be a corner kick for Argentina. At the moment, just their second 19 shots, but only 3 on goal. Possession increasing now, 63% Brazil, but the scoreboard is level.
I wonder how much of that possession is on the feet of Neymar. And hasn't been effective in this match. Neymar, when he's trying to run into the middle, he's surrounded by 4 or 5 people. And as great as Neymar is, it's to consistently beat 4 or 5 Argentine defenders is almost impossible.
Paredes from the corner. Ball rattles around the penalty spot, cleared by Miranda. Well, Neymar with more touches than anyone. Another chance here, but flipped on, hangs in the air for Alisson, who uses his height to grab hold. 95 touches for Neymar. Argentina closing things down to the point where only 53 passes. 5th substitution for Argentina, and it will be Gio Simeone. If you actually kind of squint your eyes just a little bit, you can see the resemblance, but not when he plays. His dad was a destroyer, pretty good passer, but a destroyer and one of the best. And his son is turning into a rather opportunistic finisher. Must be from the mom's side.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Icardi, anything to write home about?
No. Icardi ineffective mainly because he just didn't get the service. That's the main thing for Icardi.
Neymar with some flash, the sizzle to Coutinho, but he telegraphed Paredes, able to intercept, and now touched away Acuna.
A little surprised that Icardi is the substitution here. I know he was ineffective, but it wasn't really his fault. It was because he didn't get that much service. I thought maybe a Paredes would come off or somebody like that, but Scaloni made his decision.
Luis Neymar. Salvio over to defend. But then
loses the ball.
Too much mustard on that hot dog.
Yeah.
Salvio down the near sideline, trying to get away. Casemiro builds a wall, and it's Neymar the other way.
That's why Casemiro is so important. He can clean up all the mistakes. There was a dispossession by Neymar. Casemiro's there to get it back.
We talked about it before with all of the legends. Even Pelé and talked Garincha, but people forget about the likes of a Tostão or Rivellino and ball forward. But for the great Brazil teams, I talked about goalkeeper, that was one, but they also needed the Clodoaldos. They needed that one guy in the middle that could just lock things down.
Yeah, absolutely. And perform that duty, but also collect the ball, hold the possession, and then link up and go forward as well. Those great holding midfielders of Brazil also had the ability.
Another.
Exactly, another one, yep. They had that ability to hold the ball.
Dunga pretty good back in his day.
Yeah, well, World Cup winner, the captain of Brazil in '94. Not only hold the ball, but also pick out the pass from that deep center midfield role as well. They were versatile. Obviously, defensive duties were number one, but versatile in their ability to pass the ball forward as well. It's a very underappreciated part of the great tradition of players that Brazil has had.
Casemiro just 26, and he will go down as one of the best.
Yes.
Richarlison relying on his speed, perhaps a little too much. 4 minutes to be added.
Better now, better now, no. Don't do that again. Don't. Movía. Es que Sekarang sana dia akan itu. Kata kan. Ya.